Hello everybody, my name is Dratnos and welcome to my weekly vault. This week I did once again manage to fill out every character's vaults. A lot of that was due to the raid being quite easy. I got a couple of mythic runs pretty deep into the raid, so should be a pretty good one. Although, you know, if I can manage to take some sockets, that'll be pretty good. We'll start off as always with my kind of main for the season, which is my DK. Not really much that would be an upgrade out of the vault at this point for me. I am wearing 483, 489 old tier because that's still this, so I'm going to keep these things on for a while, but I do already have myth track shoulders that I can swap in, and I think I have hero track gloves. I think I would take a socket over hero track gloves. And then I have myth track or crafted in like every other slot pretty much already. The only thing that I want is I want a better trinket than All Totem of the Master. But I can buy that with bullions this week. So unless we see like a tertiary here, this is almost certainly going to be sockets. There would have to be something really cool to convince me otherwise. So I do have hero track pants currently equipped. But yeah, I have myth track in my bags. So I'm going to not take myth track. I already have myth track in my bags. I just am waiting to actually equip those. This is the myth track gloves that would let me wear full myth track new tier, but that's not better than old tier, and also I'm sure I can pick up some gloves from raid at some point over the next several weeks and stuff anyways. So yeah, we're gonna take the sockets over any of this stuff, and I can put sockets in both of my goofy rings, and that's pretty good because I do need a lot of sockets on this character, right? You can see I have like 5 items that need them, so next couple weeks need to be sockets. But yeah, bang, we'll put in a little bit of haste verse. That sounds fine. How are we doing on stats here? Pretty good. Everything's coming together. We'll buy with bullions a Cataclysmic Signet brand. We'll upgrade the myth track pants and put them on. We'll have 428 there. We'll upgrade the helmet to 428. And then I think this character, you know, it's pretty much just taking a couple sockets and it's Biss. It's all good. Pretty happy about that. Things have gone well for the DK. We did kill Sarkarth last week as well, so we just need to kill Razageth at some point, and I'll get my portals. But we got a couple of players off for various amounts of time for the next few weeks, so that might not be something that happens until, like, I don't know, July or something. Let's see, where do we want to go next? Let's go up to my warriors. So this is going to be one of the more suspicious vaults that I have. In fact, I think this is the most suspicious vault that I'm going to have. This is a 1M+ vault. So we've gone from a character that really needed almost nothing and was taking, you know, a socket pretty much for sure out of the vault, to a character that actually has a lot of slots that are good, but does have several upgrades that could still be found in the vault. But it's pretty unlikely we see one in a 1-slot vault, so this is a big gamble, because if we don't see something good, we're only taking 2 tokens of merit, and that's a pretty bad spot to be in. So hopefully we avoid that. You can see right now I'm in a single-minded Fury set, because I did a key as Fury, but I don't have two-handers, so loot spec, arms. I mean, I guess I would take a two-hander at this point maybe, so I could play arms or something. I don't know. Let's see what we can get here. Ruby Whelp Shell. Oh, wow. That's not a very good trinket at all, but it does save me a lot of crests to upgrade all my other stuff. You know what? I'm gonna take it. That's a lot of crests that it's gonna save me, and because I already have a 519 other trinket, so this will let me bring several good tank trinkets up in eye level quite a bit. I don't have any tokens of merit on this character either, so I would be taking like 2/3 of a socket, which is not bad, but it's not great. So let me swap over to my prot set and show you what that looks like, and then do my upgrades real quick. So we're gonna have, yeah, shield, good shield in here, and now I've got Prophetic Stone Scales and Fire Axe Tainted Rage Heart, both of which can come up to 519, I think, for free. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. All the way up to 519. Not 522, though. That'll cost some aspects. Although, I could do one upgrade to 522 for aspects, and then the other one would be free. So, I've got a half-off deal on upgrading these to 522 if I want, which I'm not sure I want that just yet. I want to save my aspects. I need to buy Golak, upgrade Golak. So I got a lot of stuff for my aspects to do. And then I also want to put some upgrades into, like, my pants, because that's a high stat value slot. So are trinkets, though, so, Hopefully I get a lot of aspects. Maybe I'll bring this character to Mythic Emirdrasil this week and pick up some Aspect's Crest that way. All right, here's my Monk. My Monk also did just 1 key. So this character is also rolling the dice. Yeah, I've got a good weapon already. I bullioned a Rashok weapon. I've got good trinkets because this is another character that I have lucked into getting the Dawn of the Infinite Cheat Death Trinket on. My Warrior and my Monk happen to have gotten the Dawn of the Infinite Cheat Death Trinket. Where's that thing? Yeah, here it is on this character. So that's pretty good. So my trinkets are good, my rings are good, my weapon is good. I could use Myth Track in most other slots, though. Chest Piece would be absolutely ideal. Let's go Windwalker loot spec to avoid, I don't know, tank trinkets. Ooh, Forge Storm. A powerful weapon for sure. But is this going to be competitive with Jaroon? I don't know. I need to find another weapon as well. But on the other hand, if I take the 2/3 of a socket, I don't know, Myth Track Forge Storm is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing to have access to. This thing doesn't have agility on it, but it does do a lot of damage on the proc there. You know what? I'm gonna take Forge Storm. Like, this thing is cool. I might use it. Yeah, I'm gonna want the sockets at some point, but I don't know. Just taking 2 tokens of merit feels so bad, and Forge Storm is cool. Like, anytime you get offered a Myth Track M+ item that is good, you don't get those opportunities very often, right? Like, you either take it or you're passing it forever. All right, here's my Paladin. My Paladin did... I think I may have done a heroic clear on this character. I don't know for sure. I did at least do a key, so at least 1 key. I think I did 1 key. So let's see what we've got in the old vault here. This character doesn't yet have the upgraded stone scales. Yeah, another character that's in 2-piece jail as well. Although this character, I have avoidance 489 gloves, so my 2-piece is better than it is on my main. All right, we've got a, okay, Myth Track belt. Yeah, I actually didn't clear heroic on it, so pretty lucky that we found an upgrade out of the Singleton vault slot there, but can't argue with that. That's pretty good. Throw that thing on. Crit Mastery, not too shabby. And we put a Shadowed Belt clasp in it before we forget. Shadowed Belt. These things are pretty expensive. These things are more expensive than they were in last season, I think, as well. What's the deal with that? Why are those things so pricey? All right, we put that on. Yeah, this character's 509. Next bullion purchase is probably an Aranog ring. That'll be pretty good. And the characters, I don't know. Also, just getting very good. Every character getting very good. Bullions are insane. Bullions are a hell of a drug. As are the sparks, right? Bullion, sparks. Like, at this point in the patch, you can now have like 4 bullion items, 3 spark items, and then you've just got a couple other slots that, you know, you can catalyze into if they're coming from M+, and bang, full build. It's pretty good. Here's my DH. My DH is also missing the good tank trinket. I'm still on last season 1. And I also don't have another good trinket here. This will be what I bully in this week. But other than that, this character's also getting very geared. I've got Myth Track tier, I think, already in basically every slot, except I have Hero Track pants. So we could see Myth Track pants here. Oh, I did do... Yeah, we did Mythic... We did 8 bosses of Mythic in Monday Night run on this character. MNS, the powerful Monday Night squad. Yeah, not really much that we need to see here. Okay. Well, there's an Aranog ring, but I already have one of those. But this is eye level. This doesn't have a tertiary, though. There's boots, but this is from just the Dawn of the Infinite I did. There's bracers, so this is a big eye level upgrade on bracers, or I could get a controlled current technique, Myth Track. Now, if this was a different trinket than controlled current technique, this would be pretty valuable because it would give me crest upgrades. But I think this actually doesn't help me with crest upgrades because it doesn't count as a different trinket than the 515 controlled current technique. So I think I would still need to get another trinket to be able to get good, cheap crest upgrades. So I'm just going to take the Myth Track bracers. Well, although there is a very good chance if I play this character for keys, I'm going to want a engineering bracers with a battle res on them. In which case, you know, that could be my next spark craft on this character, right? Spark. Yeah, I do have I do have a spark, and I have the aspects to send into it. Huh. In which case, maybe I'm talking myself into taking sockets over this thing. What does, yeah... I mean, it's got mastery on it. I don't actually know what there... Somebody was saying there was some way to... Like, you can check... Okay, somebody said, like, appearance tab? Let's see. Appearances, sets... I just want to check what the... I want to check what the transmog is on it. Which is... Or not the transmog, the stats. So that is Screaming Torch Fiend's Armlets. How do I... Okay, there. Wow. It's mastery heavy if I catalyze it, it looks like. Okay. So yeah, I mean, these would be mastery bracers. Mastery is a really bad stat. That stat is super stinky. I'm going to take the sockets. Yeah, I'm gonna take the sockets. This trick is not very good. I'm just wearing it because it's what I got, so I don't want a high-level version of it. The Broodkeeper ring as well is potentially not something that I want forever either. This thing is, it's some decent defensive value, but mastery is really bad, so I'm going to put a socket into my 528 helmet and into my Aranog ring, because those pieces are going to stick around for a while. Or, I mean, probably forever. And then I don't actually know if I'm going to keep the Seal of Filial Duty. I might also craft into that slot in next week when I get another spark, perhaps. All right. Well, I managed to do it. I managed to take sockets on a character that actually had a pretty compelling upgrade, but I'm gonna spark into my bracers and make B-res bracers. So, yeah, that's the plan. That's gonna be good. B-res bracers are just really good. They're really strong. If you're playing with like a meta comp this season, your other B-res is your healer, but like what if your healer dies? You want to res them? Maybe you're playing with a Warlock or something, maybe, but I don't know. It's just nice. It's a lot of power in those bracers. This is my DK. I already did my DK. The DK was that was the first character I did, but it was I don't have it in the right slot on my list. Usually at the start of a new season, I'll arrange my list such that my main and my first alt are at the top of the list. Or I guess I did that at the start of the expansion this time around. I don't think I've done that since because my warrior's still at the top. And that was my main back during Dragonflight Season 1. Back in the good old days. All right, here's my next character. It's loading into an Azure Vault, but I think it's going to be hearthed out. Nope. It's not going to be hearthed out. It's going to be at the start of an Azure Vault. This is my Druid, which I've been playing as Resto this season. We are going to loot spec Balance because I would actually like either of the trinkets out of Azure Vault, and I think one of them is only available if you're Balance loot spec. But yeah, this character's also been doing pretty well. Again, the bullions just really fill out every slot that you might want, so I do need to buy another ring. I think I'm going to buy the Broodkeeper ring. I'm not sure. Maybe the Aranog ring. Like, both of them are good, and you probably only can wear one because you usually want a Verdant Tether on the other ring slot, so yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling on that decision. I could also buy a trinket to replace Graal's discarded tooth. We've been offered a two-handed intellect mace. Now, this will save me a lot of crests if I take it, but I do have a decent amount of crests on this character. But it would only be 2 tokens towards a socket. I already have 1 socket in my bags as well. All right, I'm going to save the crests. I'm going to take the Ancestral Stone Shaper. We'll save a bunch of crests this way, and this will let me like bring my Vakash all the way up to 528 immediately and not feel bad about it, so yeah, we'll take the crest saver. I would have taken sockets over that if I had done a heroic clear, or I was thinking last night like, I should do some LFR bosses and get some sockets, but then I reminded myself I don't want to do that, and so I don't have to. Then that is always a good thing to, like, if it's at the start of an important season that I care about a character in, right, like, you know, for raid, then I'll do whatever I need to do so that I'm as strong as possible to not let my team down, but there's literally nobody in the world that's going to be let down by Dratmoose having slightly worse gear. That character is entirely, you know, for my own enjoyment only. Okay, here's my Hunter. My Hunter is actually also very geared. Could use some hero or myth track boots. And then I need a bunch of crests to upgrade my Torque and my bracers. And then I need to use my bullions to buy some funny rings. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. So there's not too much we could see here that would be... There's a myth track Voice of the Silent Star. Now, this is not actually the highest power Voice of the Silent Star gets. You can bullion it to be higher than myth track, right? You bullion it, it goes up to 538. So I'm not going to take one of these on the myth track ever. This is from just Heroic Raid. But also, Voice of the Silent Star is pretty bait. But also... You know, if there's one spec that could use it, BM Hunter does have a lot of extra stamina floating around, so losing some stamina. Also, you know, you're stealing people's lowest secondary stats, but you're gaining that your highest. I mean, okay, look. This item's not bad. I'm never taking it out of this vault. I think I will eventually bully in this, but I'm definitely going to buy the rings first, and then just once I'm full build, I'll bully in that thing. So the question is just now whether I would like to take a Circle of Ascended Frost. This will save me 30 Aspect Crests eventually, because it will let me upgrade for cheaper my second ring once I upgrade my first ring to 522. That's not that, but I'm just going to take my sockets. I need a bunch of sockets on this character, and this will let me do that, so... one of those goes into the Myth Track helmet, and then the other one will wait for me to purchase my funny ring this week. Haste crit, that sounds good to me. And bang, another character. Yeah, this character, I mean, those characters genuinely, like, you know, I basically just need Aspect Crest. Like, if I brought this thing to 6 bosses of a Mirror or if I did, like, 8 keys on it, upgraded my Torque, upgraded my Flame Touch Cuffs, you know, it would be really good. Especially if I can find some Hero Track boots or Myth Track boots. Myth Track boots would be really ideal. And then would be... I mean, we would be I could outgrow Worm's Crest on this character this week. That's pretty cool. My DK only outgrew Worm's Crest last week, although it would have done it sooner if I had cared about like gloves and shoulder slots, because I'm keeping old tier in them, so I only outgrow Crest on that character whenever I remember, like, oh, I should upgrade in this slot so that I can upgrade my crests. Upgrading crests is a pretty minor thing as well. The most value I've been getting out of upgrading crests has just been upgrading the Drake's Crest from the weekly, right? Like if you do the full weekly, you get enough Drake's Crest for 15 Worm's Crest usually. And I do have a lot of characters that need Worm's Crests, and a lot of characters that don't need Drake's Crest anymore. Like that's, I think, my most common character type. So here's my Warlock. My Warlock did do... I think I did a full clear of Heroic. And then I also did 1 key. So we're just going to see if we get something cool in that 1 key slot. We get an Erupting Spear Fragment. So, no. I mean, this is high level trinket, but I don't think we're going to take that over sockets, because I guess I do have 2 good things to put a socket into. I have a crafted piece, and I have a second ring. So, yeah, cool. We'll take those, grab some sockets. And once again, I'm starting to be able to take my sockets. That's pretty good. I just need to make sure that I need to, like, just hop into some heroics. What I need to do a better job of doing half of a heroic on one character and then swapping to another character. I'll just do Mastery Haste. I don't know. That's probably fine. I think I have enough haste. Mastery Haste. Cool. I need to do a better job of swapping onto a different character halfway through heroic so that I can get 4 bosses on one character, 4 bosses on the other character, and then 1 key on each character, and then I can take sockets. There were a few heroic runs I did last week that were like full clears, and if I'd hopped off of those characters halfway through and swapped onto a different guy, I would have been able to purchase sockets on the second guy. But I was kind of thinking like, it's early in the week. I'm sure there'll be more heroics, but there weren't. And yeah, I didn't end up doing more heroics. So I don't know. I mean, it's not a big deal. Again, it's season 4, so. Who cares? Well, I care actually about this character. This character I've been having a lot of fun on, my Arcane Mage. Pretty much also approaching full build now. I've got 2 very strong trinkets, one of which is on the hero track, so seeing a mythic version of this would be incredible. Extremely unlikely, but incredible. I've got my funny rings, so I just need crests to upgrade those. I've got my Dreambinder, it's fully upgraded. I have Champion Track helmet, so upgrading that would be very nice. Myth Track pants, Hero Track and all my other tier slots. Let's see what we got here. All right, we've got a necklace, a Crit Verse necklace, or a Mastery Haste necklace. 2 different necklaces. Interesting. Yeah, and then a bunch of slots up here. Now, I also don't have any sockets on this character. So I've crafted into bracers and belt. I mean, I definitely have a very serious need for sockets on this character, right? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 items waiting for a socket, plus I'll eventually upgrade my helmet and then be able to put a socket into that. But I have 4 slots that are ready for a socket, like, right now. So it's just a question of if I do want if either of these, like, stat distributions are really exciting. Okay, so I've had a little look at all 3 mage specs, taking a quick survey around, and these are definitely both quite good necklaces for various specs. But I don't think they're good enough to justify me taking over the sockets right now. Because, like, I can already upgrade this thing up to 522 with some crests, if I do some content and want to be able to do that. I can also craft into my necklace spot. I do have a spark that I can put together here. Actually, how am I doing on flight stones? I won't do that right now. Well, I will. Yeah. No, I won't do that. I'll do it when I need it. I'll be disciplined. I could also spark craft into my next slot, and I could also get an Orboreal necklet and upgrade that in my next slot, which there's a decent chance I will, right? My next bullion purchase, what's it going to actually be? I've already got rings, I've already got weapons, I've already got good trinkets, so unless I wanted to branch out into something other than arcane, which I will do at some point on this character, but right now I'm just kind of... I like to optimize kind of one spec at a time with the way this season's been working, has been how I've been doing it, so... Yeah, we're going to take the sockets because I've got so much stuff that needs those sockets. Those necklaces are both good, interesting, cool, powerful necklaces that would be good for various specs. But yeah, we'll just start with this and then throw in some. I think Mastery Crit would be best for me right now, but I'm sure Mastery Haste is fine. Haste is good for AoE as well. Bang. Okay. Yeah, again, another character where it's all coming together. Everything is looking pretty good. Here is my Shaman. My Shaman is a Resto Shaman. I've been healing keys. I played a little bit of Ellie in raids as well, but mostly been healing on this character. And having a good time with it as well. Healing on Resto Shaman's been fun. I think the spec is quite enjoyable to play. Doing DPS on it's also pretty fun. The damage, it feels like it's pretty low damage compared to what the other healer specs can put out for the same amount of effort, but it's definitely still fun, and I could be doing better. I could be doing more. Could always be doing more, damn. Will be Ellie loot spec, that's fine. Don't really want to see any healer trinkets or anything like that. So this is a heroic run. So Beacon of the Beyond and stuff, none of that's going to be a consideration here. Ooh, a Leech two-hander is actually pretty compelling. Leech is really good. I am going to want to buy a Vakash. A Vakash is a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. It does... really look nice, so... But Leech is a really good stat for healers. I only have 2% Leech just coming from my... my tree, I think. Somewhere in my tree is Leech. Yeah, here. I could change my enchants into Leech off of Avoidance. I probably should do that. But this would basically give me 2 enchants worth of Leech for free. I mean, it's compelling. But what else am I going to do with my bullions this week? I guess I could buy another trinket instead of Ruby Whelp Shell. And then I could just have a big Leech two-hander. And then it'll also save me crests when I do eventually buy a Vakash. Now I'm going to take sockets. I'm going to be good. I'm going to take sockets. I'm going to take my sockets. I know I want Vakash. Yes, Leech is cool. Leech is good, but I'm going to buy Vakash. I'm going to buy Vakash soon. And I need my sockets. I need to get my sockets while I'm still earning 3 vault slots on this character. Like, how much longer can that be expected to continue? It's unpredictable. All right, we want... All right, first crit. That sounds good. That sounds fine to me. I don't know. I like those stats. Cool. All right, once again, character didn't gain any eye level, but it did gain sockets. Sockets are hidden power. They don't show up in your eye level, but it's really good once you're getting full sockets, right? Each socket's like 100 secondary stats, so... That's, depending on the slot, 5 eye levels, something like that. It's you're not getting primary stat, armor, stamina, those things, but secondaries are good. You're gaining your favorite secondaries usually as well. I mean, almost always. Unless you're doing some weird stuff with Lariat. Lariat procs the second stat in those gems, so sometimes you do a little bit of weird stuff to make Lariat not proc haste is a pretty often thing. Even if haste is like your favorite stat, you'll do a bunch of haste verse gems where the verse is the I think the second one, I don't know. Yeah, it procs the whatever one's the smaller number. Like, so this would proc Mastery off of if you had a Lariat. So if you ever had a stat... There are a few specs I've had where I wanted Verse Haste, but instead I've done Haste Verse because I didn't want to proc Haste, because procking Haste felt worse than procking Verse for me on those. That was usually a tank thing. Anyways, ramblings aside, let's pop open another vault here. We are looking at... Ooh. Avoidance Necklace. Do I have the other part of this mount? The Eye of the Vengeful Hurricane. What does that one combine with? I don't think I have the other part of this necklace. Yeah, there's... I want that mount. I want that mount. I've been hunting it for ages. So if I ever get both the part that combines with it, I will get that. But yeah, we're not going to take that. This one, though, Haste Mastery Necklace, Bromax Disentombed Locket. I mean, I'm not a Shadow Priest scientist, but I'm pretty sure Haste Mastery is pretty good. It seems like it's probably, that's probably pretty good. I'm going to take that over sockets, whatever. I've already got sockets in these things. I've already got sockets in these things. And I have a Veteran Track Necklace on this character, so this is a large upgrade. I'll remember to put sockets in it at some point, but okay. Yeah, this video's been going on long enough. You don't need to see me purchase and apply some sockets. Surely I'll remember to do that when I log on to that character later, and I don't show up in a dungeon with a unsocketed necklace and then get kicked from the group. I don't know if anybody else has adopted the neck check, but that's been a pretty common filtering mechanism in my guild. One of my guildies is an advocate of is just you inspect people. If their necklace doesn't include 3 3-star gems, then you kick them. And you weed out a reasonable percentage of the player base that way. All right, here's my rogue. My rogue, yeah, loot spec assassination's probably fine. I don't know. I don't remember what I did on this character, so we're going to find out together. I did 1 key, and I got a mythic helmet out of it. And I'll take that, and I'll catalyze it, maybe. Yeah, so unfortunately, this is Haste Mastery, my 2 least favorite stats. And it catalyzes into Haste as well. But it's still Mythtrack Helmet. I don't know, I'm still going to take that. But yeah, it's not great. I don't know what the off-piece is supposed to be for this spec. Yeah, it probably is Helmet, because that is so haste heavy. Crit haste, verse mastery, crit verse. What are the pants? Yeah, mastery crit. Okay, that's also quite bad. I don't know. It's probably not that big a deal then, I guess. All right, next character, final character, is my Evoker. Now, my Evoker, I actually also did 8 mythic bosses on. My guild's alt mythic took out 8 bosses in Aberrus. Aberrus is kind of sick. It's just you show up, you're like, oh man, Rashok's kind of hard, right? You one-shot Rashok and you're like, oh, all right, we're kind of overpowered this season, huh? And then you just kill all the other bosses. We didn't even pull Sarkareth. We one-shot Echo of Neltharion and then we hearthed in this run. In the Monday Night Squad run that I did on my DH, we did pull Sarkareth 3 times. Got it to like 40%, but that boss is a lot harder than the other bosses. But yeah, if you've got a group that's like done some... If you've got a group of like 10 people that have done Echo of Neltharion, maybe 15, you can easily do that whole raid on alts and carry a few people that haven't done anything as well. All right, here is my Dev Evoker, though. Yeah, let's see what we can pick up. We've got a Verse Mastery Cloak, a Crit Haste Necklace, an Eye of the Vengeful Hurricane. Alert. Alert. Do I have the other one? No. I don't have the other necklace. All right. Well, we're not going to take that then. Unlucky. And a Spellboon Saber. So we're never taking the Spellboon Saber. I've already got the Legendary. We could go Hero Track to Myth Track Cloak. We could also go Crafted to Myth Track Necklace. Crit Haste is good stats as well. Those are definitely nice. But I think I'm going to just take the Myth Track Cloak. I already have some sockets in. I guess I do have 2 Myth Track items that could receive a socket, but I'm pretty sure I should just take this cloak. It's Verse Mastery. Now, those stats aren't ideal, but maybe I can catalyze it into something better. But even if I can't, it is eye level and, Hero Track to Myth Track in a slot that is nice. That's saving me Worm's Crest as well. This character's done so many heroics that I made Enchanted Worm's Crests, which is this is the only character I've actually ever, crafted an Enchanted Worm's Crest on for an offhand and a necklace. And at some point I'll replace this offhand with, you know, probably a bullion offhand, but for now I made the enchanted Worm's Crest in these slots to upgrade them from 502. And I'm pretty close to being done with needing Worm's Crest as well at this point. Like, in fact, this cloak might do it for me. I have 100 left, so that is 6 upgrades. So I guess I still need to find a better ring. But once I find myself a 409 ring, I can then use 4 upgrades here. I guess I still need to upgrade my shoulders and a trinket. So I guess I still need a little bit more Worm's Crest. I need to find myself like 1 myth track piece in any of those slots, and then I'll be able to just use the rest of my Worm's Crest and then be done with Worm's Crest, which will be pretty cool. So this is another character, though, that is, you know, surprisingly pretty much fully geared. Everything's looking good. Anyways, that is going to be it for my Vault video this week. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm, again, not sure how many more weeks will involve me opening 13 Great Vaults. As you can see, the quality of the vaults has been diminishing a little bit. I don't know. I mean, the raid's nice and fun and pretty easy, so I expect doing a couple of mythic clears and stuff, doing a couple of mythic runs each week might continue, but I don't know how many more heroic runs I've got in me. The thing is, I do have a bunch of characters that still want Worm's Crests, right? But I don't know if they want Worm's Crest enough to enter heroic raid anymore. I think that might be. I think the passion for that might have finally expired, and we might be entering a holding pattern until War Within. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know if you've got some better items out of your vaults. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.